So today I wanted to start with a fresh topic called as collection. Okay, very important. Now this is a part of advanced Java. Okay, so we can now shift our focus to advanced Java, and this topic is very important with regards to Spring Boot also. So collection, I'm audible, right, everyone? Yeah. So it is a group of heterogeneous non-primitives, means objects. So what can you store in a collection? Yes.
Heterogeneous non-primitive object.
So collection will only be of objects. याद रखना है इसको. Group of heterogeneous non-primitives. So in collections, non-primitives will only be there. You cannot store a primitive in a collection. So it is which zone? It is non-primitives only zone. Okay, so you have no army zone. So in that only army people will be there. Civilian not allowed. So collection is group of non-primitives only. If a primitive is to enter a collection, now this integer I, it is a primitive or non-primitive?
That is primitive.
So if I say integer I equal to 10, so this 10 is now primitive or non-primitive?
Primitive.
Primitive. So now can this I be stored in the collection as it is? Yes, no, maybe?
No, sir.
No. So what we have to do, we have to convert this into a non-primitive. This is primitive, right?
Primitive.
So how do we convert primitive to non-primitive? Auto boxing using yes guys. So auto boxing is the art of converting a primitive to non-primitive. So what we will do, for every primitive class we have a corresponding wrapper class. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
So what is the wrapper class for integer data type?
Integer
So
class.
capital I or small I? So this is my primitive integer, right? And this is my non-primitive wrapper corresponding wrapper class.
Yes, sir.
Non-primitive. So for every primitive type there will be a corresponding what?
Wrapper class. Non-primitive wrapper class.
Non-primitive wrapper class will. So can this integer in its original shape and size be stored in a collection?
No, sir. We have to convert it into a non-primitive and we
Yeah.
can store it.
Yes. So like in heaven everybody will be young, right? Everybody will be what?
Yes. Yeah.
Young. So if someone who has died in old age, what will happen to them? If some senior citizen, an elderly person, a pious elderly person, if he dies, then what happens? Will he be old? He will be again made young and then he will stay in heaven, right?
Yes.
So like that,
Yes.
for there is no heaven for old people, correct?
Yes, sir.
He will be made young and then he will stay over there. Similarly, there is no collection for primitives. if a primitive is to be stored, it will be converted into its corresponding non-primitive. That is called as auto boxing. So what should be done to this I then if it wants to be stored in the collection?
So we have to make it
So
class active.
integer I object is new integer. Now this is primitive or non-primitive I object.
Then it's a non-primitive. Non-primitive.
And then it is a primitive based on which variable? This I. Okay.
Yes.
So this 10 which was a normal 10, now I have converted it into an object 10. Okay. So I'll give a notation. I'll give the hexagon as an object for notation for object. Now can this hexagon go in the collection?
Yes, sir.
Yes. Why?
Because it is an object.
Because it is an object. So first thing first, collection is a group of
Collection is a group of heterogeneous non-primitive.
heterogeneous non-primitive. So in this one collection, if I have 10, then can I also store Alice in the same collection? Alice is an object of string, right?
Yes, sir.
A string is a class, correct?
Yes, sir.
So
Yes, sir.
what is Alice then? If string is a class, Alice is the object of that class, right?
Yes, Alice is object of that class.
So if I say over here name equals to Alice, can I store this name in the collection?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Why? How can we store it? Why is it possible? Because
Heterogeneous, sir.
it's a non-primitive, right? So the name is a non-primitive, correct? So Alice is primitive or non-primitive?
Non-primitive.
So it can be stored in the same collection. So now the same collection is having 10 also and Alice also. One is of integer type, one is of string type. Possible or not possible?
Possible, sir.
So what are the two things you have to observe while explaining collection? First it is,
Heterogeneous.
and second it is,
Non-primitives. Heterogeneous, non-primitive.
yes, second it is heterogeneous, and first heterogeneous, second non-primitives only. Okay, it is for non-primitives, that is objects only. Third, if I make a array, okay, so even you had array as group, right? For group of elements we also had an array, correct?
Yes, sir.
All this while we have been studying array for group of elements. So array has certain restrictions. So to overcome the restrictions of an array, collection was introduced. So what are the limitations of an array?
So we can store of same type and size is fixed.
Yes, so the limitation of an array was it was homogeneous, correct?
Yes.
So if an array was of integer, only would store integer values, correct? And it has fixed size, yes or no?
Yes, sir.
So
Yes, sir.
collection was introduced to overcome the limitations of an array. So collection is what? Heterogeneous. So
Collection
and it is,
non-primitive.
yeah,
Dynamic in nature.
heterogeneous, and it is variable size.
Variable.
The size of the collection is variable. Okay, it auto grows. What it does? It is auto growable in nature. So a collection, when it becomes full, it will auto grow. A collection, when it becomes full, what it happens?
Will also grow.
It will auto grow. An array, if it becomes full, I have to go and manually go and change the size of the array. So if I have an array of size 3 over here, and if I write over here ARR, and if I say over here is new integer of size 3, so I can place 3 elements in it. So once this array becomes full, at 0 I have 10, at 1 I have 20, at 2 I have 30. Now the array is full. Yes or no? So now if I say ARR of 3 equals to 40, what will throw over here?
Array index out of
Yes, it will throw array index out of bounds exception. Yes or no? But it is not the case with collection. If I make a collection of size 3, okay, if I make a collection of size 3 and if I put the first element or first object, if you want, second object and third object, now when I will enter the fourth object, which object?
fourth object.
Fourth object, when I will enter, the collection will auto grow. Collection will do what? Will auto grow to new size. Will auto grow to a new size. Okay, and the formula is, there are many collection classes. I'm giving you a simple formula. Okay, for array list is a collection class. What is array list?
Is a collection class.
So the new size will be, or you can call as capacity. What you can call it as?
Capacity.
It will be the old capacity multiplied by 1.5 plus 1. What is the formula?
New capacity is equal to old capacity into 1.5 plus 1.
So if earlier the capacity was 3, once it becomes full, okay. Now when I insert the third object, it has become full, correct?
Yes, sir.
So at that time it will not auto grow. At that time it will not auto grow. It will auto grow when I try to insert after full. When I insert the fourth element, it will auto grow. Getting it?
Yes, sir.
So what will be the new capacity then? 3 into 1.5 is how much? 4.5.
5 plus 1.
4.5 plus 1 is 5.5. Truncate the decimal. New capacity will become 5, right?
Yes, sir.
If I apply the formula, what is the old capacity now?
Old capacity is 3
So 3 into 1.5 is
into 1.5 is 4.5.
4.5 plus 1 is,
5.5.
and it is an integer value. So truncate the decimal.
That will be 5.
5. Okay, so now I enter the fourth element, right? Now I enter the fifth object also. Will the size grow? Will the capacity grow?
So it has already grown at fourth object.
Yeah, so now at fourth it became 5, right? So when I enter the 5, will it grow?
No, sir.
When I enter the sixth object, will it grow now?
Yes, sir.
So what would be the new capacity now?
5 into 1.5 plus 1.
So how much that will become?
It will be 7.1 plus 1. Plus 1.
That is
8.5.
8.5. That will become 8. So now can I insert seventh object? Can I insert 8th object? Will the capacity increase?
No, sir.
Now when I insert the 9th object, then
Then it will increase the capacity.
it will become what? 13? Yes or no? So like this, the array list, the collection classes are dynamic in nature. Does this happen for the array? If the size becomes full, No, right?
No, sir.
Yeah. In some of the collection classes, you can also specify the increment. You can also specify the.
Increment.
So if the initial capacity, let's say I give is 10. What is the initial capacity?
10.
So you can specify the increment. So if you say that I want to increment by 5, I want to increment by how much? So now if the initial capacity is 10, if I enter object 1, will the capacity increase?
No, sir.
Object blah blah blah, object 9, will it increase?
No, sir.
Object 10, will it increase? When I enter object 10, will it increase?
No, sir.
No. When I enter object 11, will it increase?
No, sir.
And what will be the new capacity? Increase by 5.
Will be 15.
It will become 15. Getting it? So in some classes, you can also set the increment. In some classes, the increment is automatically calculated by a formula. Make sense?
Yes, sir.
So now when I enter the 12th element, will it increase?
No, sir.
13, 14,
No, sir.
15,
No, sir.
16.
No, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Capacity will become
Capacity will become 20.
20. Like this, you can specify the increment also in certain classes. So three things which you will mention while explaining collection. What is collection in interview? What are the three things? First, it is
First, it is heterogeneous.
only for
Group of non-primitive.
heterogeneous, and 3 it is
Variable size.
dynamic length,
Dynamic in size.
dynamic in size. So what do you mean by dynamic in size?
It will auto grow.
It will auto grow. That is the meaning of. And when will it auto grow?
When it will connect to the list. Or when it will do that.
Okay. See, if this is a bus, and this is a 10-seater bus. How many seater bus? 10-seater bus. So how many seats are there? 10. That is called as capacity. That is called as what? Capacity. Now, if 3 passengers are sitting, so how many passengers are there? Let's say, what is the capacity of this bus? 8. What is the capacity?
8.
So capacity is the number of seats, number of chairs, or whatever number of seats. That is 8. And size is the number of passengers. What is size? Size is the
Number of passengers.
So how many passengers are there right now? I'll color them with red. So how many passengers now? 2. So capacity is 8, size is 2. The collection class object will auto grow when the size becomes more than the capacity. Remember this. Okay. So now what is this capacity? What is the size now? Will it auto grow?
No, sir. No, sir.
Now?
No, sir. Now capacity is 8, size is 6.
Now will it auto grow?
No, sir.
No. Now when I add one element extra, now what is the capacity? What is the size?
Sir, capacity is 8 and size is greater than capacity.
So when the size becomes greater than capacity, it will auto grow. Getting it?
Yes, sir. Yes.
And in array list, the formula for auto grow is in array list.
New capacity 1 plus 1.
and this formula is for a hash set. So these are two very famous collection classes. Which are they?
Array list and hash set.
So in array list there is a fixed formula for increment. In hash set, if you want, you can give your own increment also. Making sense?
Yes, sir.
So make note of this in whatever language you understand. I'll be back in around 10 minutes. See, we have three things over here. We have three things over here. Can you all differentiate between this? Yes. Is there any difference or is it the same difference? Yes, no, maybe.
Only last.
Hmm? What is the difference?
In first, the size.
First, what size? जल्दी बोला करो यार तुम लोग. This collection with the small c is the name of the chapter. We are over here as of now. The chapter. So which chapter are we studying?
Collection chapter.
Collection.
Collection.
This capital C is a parent interface in this chapter. What is it?
Parent interface. Parent interface.
So what is the name or what is the spelling of the parent interface in the collection chapter?
Collection with capital C.
Yes, collection with the capital C. And this is a utility class. What is this?
Utility class. Utility
So what is the utility class name?
collection with capital. Collection with capital. Collection with capital C and S and
Yes. So right now I am over here. I have not ventured into any of these right now. But people are telling it is order preserving, order duplicates allowed. That will come when I start with this topic. So today I have just started with this chapter name. So I am giving you an overview of the chapter. Okay, what the chapter actually is. So this, what is a collection indeed? So collection is a group of non-primitives, is heterogeneous and in dynamic in nature. Okay, now how do I know it is group of non-primitives only? If I try to insert 10 in a collection, will it insert? If I try to do this I equal to 10 and put this I in the collection, will it add? Yes, it will add. Yes, it will add, but it will convert it into a non-primitive and add. So won't those old people go in heaven? But they will be converted to young and then they will be in heaven, right? So will this I go into the collection? Yes or no? But will it go in its this? Yes. So it will be behind the scenes implicitly. Okay, will be converted to, will be auto boxed and then converted to
non-primitive.
integer object, right? This small int will be converted to a capital integer object, and this integer object will be then stored in the collection. This all will happen implicitly. Now how do I know that this I is stored or this I is stored? So let's do a test of that. Is my screen visible to you all guys? Eclipse screen visible?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so I've switched laptops, so maybe our project is not there, so we'll make a new project for you guys. Okay, so FSD 001. So I make this class collection demo, I add main to it. Okay, so there are many collection classes. One of the collection classes is array list. Okay, so I'm just taking the example of that right now. So I'll make a array list object, array list. Okay, whatever name a1 is new array list, correct? So this will be in the util package. Which package? Got it. Now to this, if you want to add an element, you say add. What do you say? So see, it is allowing me to add 10. Is it showing any red mark over here? So it is allowing me to add. So if I take integer x equal to 10, can I add this x over here? Allowing or not allowing?
Yes, sir, we can add.
And if I do sys out and sys out a1, what is the symbol for a list in Java? The symbol for a list is square bracket. What is the symbol for list? So this x will display in square bracket, right? So this will be the output. Yes or no? So if I run this code, you will see the output as 10. So how come it is allowing, sir? You told that it is only of non-primitives, but it is taking x also, and x is a primitive, right? So what is happening over here behind the scenes?
So the integer x is converting it into non-primitive object.
Yes, integer x is being auto boxed. Is being what? Auto boxed into a integer object, right? And that integer object is stored in the collection. Yes, no, maybe getting it? Understand everything, each nut and bolt of the program you should be comfortable with, right? Now how do I know what is being stored is a primitive or non-primitive? Okay, the litmus test is, if I take a primitive and I do a decimal after that, if I give a dot, does it show me any list of methods I can call? So we cannot invoke any method using a primitive. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Okay, but if I fetch this value from the collection, so to add the element we call the add function, to fetch the element we call the get function. Which function? So from a1 dot get, I'm getting which element? Okay, 10. Okay, but this will be at which index? 0 index, right? So I get the element at index 0. I get the element at which index? 0. So now if I do a dot, so it will give me 10, right? Yes or no? If I do a sys out, okay, I just give anything, okay, just prefix anything so that you know from where it is printing. So what will be the answer for this? And double quotes, okay, you have double quotes in Java, not single. So what will be the answer? Apple 10, correct? So now this, what I am getting is primitive or non-primitive? What is the proof of it is a non-primitive? So when I try to invoke a method from a primitive x dot, did it give you any option?
No, sir.
But when I try to invoke a method from here, it will give you option. Getting it?
Yes, sir.
So hence proved. What is hence proved now?
That, sir, only non-primitive stored in collection.
Yes, hence proved that the collection stores only non-primitive, that is objects. If you try to store a primitive, it will be auto box and converted into an object, right or wrong? Yes. Okay, so if I have a string name Can I store this name in the collection? This name is primitive or non-primitive?
Non-primitive.
What is the proof it is a non-primitive? If I do name dot, will it give me a list of methods?
Yes, sir.
So it's a proof it is a non-primitive. Now can I add this?
Yes, sir. You can add
So how will I do it? A1 dot add. And what to add? So is it allowing me to add? And if I now display the collection again, what will the output? Let me comment this. What will be the output? 10 and Alice, right? So homogeneous or heterogeneous? If I do A1 dot add, what is this? True. Boolean, right? If I do A1 dot add, what is this? A. If I add 10.9, what is this? Double, right? So it is storing all sort of values. Okay, I did not print it. I did not print it. So if you are learning this chapter, learn it very thoroughly. Each and every corner you should explore. Getting it? Okay, so this superpower is given to collection that it is heterogeneous, correct? But we do not use this superpower, even though this privilege is given. Now this is the catch. Even though the collection has a privilege of being what? We do not use this privilege. We always try to use the collection as a homogeneous. So whenever you will see a professional developer, he or she will always try to use the collection as a homogeneous, even though it has the feature of being heterogeneous. Getting it? So this feature we will not utilize. Okay, so now how do I convert that then? So now if I want to store only integers, so when I make the collection, I will in angular bracket give what type of data I want in this collection. So now this collection will store only which objects now? Objects of which type? So you have to mention this in the angular bracket. You have to mention here also and on the RHS also, but on the RHS it is optional. See, mentioning here is more than sufficient. Even if you don't mention here is okay. So I'll make A3 and show it to you all. So I'll make A3 and show it to you all. If you don't mention over here, it is okay. Getting it? So now what can be stored into A2? Only. So can I store 10? Now can I store Alice in A2? Why no? So see. So now when I take the mouse over here, what it says is not applicable for argument string type. Can I store true now in A2? Why no? Yes, so now we have converted the collection into generic. What have we done? Into generics. What do we call it as? So collection will always be used in generics format. You will avoid using collection in heterogeneous format. Am I understood? Yes, no, maybe. So even though this privilege is assigned to a collection, we will avoid using it. And how will we use the collection? As generics. And how do I convert into a generic? Like
Writing the type inside angular.
in angular bracket. Which bracket?
Angular.
Angular bracket. Okay, you all know the brackets, right? This is which bracket? This is
Square bracket.
round bracket.
Parenthesis.
This is square bracket, right? This is round bracket.
Round bracket.
This is curly bracket or parenthesis. And this is angular. So you will mention the generic in which bracket? And then you have to respect that. Once you enter, then you have to respect that. Now you cannot add any. Can I add 20? Yes. Can I add 101?
Yes.
Yes. Making sense? Okay.
Yes.
Now you could have done the same thing using an array also. So a big question pops up. So if this was to be done, then why are we doing it in a different way? Why don't we do it like this? Yes or no? If I have
array having fixed size and list is auto
yes,
dynamic.
yes, that is a valid argument. So then next question arises the debate between array and collection. The next debate is what is the difference between array and what? Now all these classes which I have written, collection classes, they inherit from the common interface called as what? Collection. Okay, so now there's a debate. What is the difference between array and array list? So first debate, first difference, it is homogeneous in nature. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
By nature it is homogeneous, but by collection is by nature heterogeneous. Even though we are not using it, but by nature it is heterogeneous. Even though this is not advised to be used in a heterogeneous format, but by default setting it is in heterogeneous. Second, fixed size. Yes or no? Here, variable size. Third, have we made array of integers? Have we made an integer array? Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Have we made an array of strings?
Yes, sir.
So array will be for P and non-P both. Array will be for P and non-P means
Primitive and
yes, array will support both. So supports what? P and but can there be a collection of primitives? Can you write like this that I want to make a collection of integer? Will it allow? Is it allowing? Why is it not allowing? What it is telling? We need reference type. This is value type, no? But so what it wants? It wants reference type. So only supports only non-primitives. Okay. Now fourth, if you want to implement a stack using array, we had done that in data structures, right? Remember, push pop functions we had made, implemented the stack using an array, correct, in initial days of data structures. So there is no predefined support for underlying data structures. No predefined support available. Support or functions you can say. Available for underlying data structures. If you want to make a data structure, you have to write all customized code. Write all customized code to create data structures. To create what? Such as stack, queue, linked list, tree. Yes or no? Guys, what DS have you all studied? But in collection, you have predefined classes for data structures. Predefined classes available for underlying data structures. No need to write customized code. Just use the function. No need to write customized code to create data structures. You have them as predefined. Yes, no, maybe.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay. Then other differences will be, okay, performance wise. Okay, so y'all can chat GPT this performance wise, which is better. So if there is lots of reading only, what it is there, then array is better. Array is, but if there is lots of delete and update, lots of what? Delete and update, then collection is better. What is better? Collection is better. Okay. Then memory efficiency also you all can check which is more memory efficient. Okay, check for memory efficient, because once I declare the memory I know, right? So here it leads to wastage, no? So if I declare an array of 100 and I use only 5, so that leads to memory wastage, correct?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Leads to memory wastage. Okay, in array we also have array index out of bounds exception, right? But that will not be there in collection, correct? Will the collection have array index out of bound? It is auto growable in nature, no? So will it have array index out of bound exception?
No, sir. No, sir.
It will have. It will have. So what is array index out of bound? See, let's take this array list. How many elements are there in this? So what is the index?
0, 1.
Now does this array list have index 2, index 3? Does this array list have index 3?
No, sir.
Index 3, does it have?
No, sir. No, sir.
So if I do this, what will happen at line number 31? Yes, it will give array index out of bound. So
Yes, sir.
it is auto growable in nature does not mean it will not have the exception. See, it will have the exception over here. Getting it? But index out of bounds, not array index. But what is the exception?
Index out of bound. Index out of bound.
So how come it is getting over here index out of bound?
Because it is not. Because they are printing the element which is not there.
Yes. By default, the capacity of this array list is 10. What is the default capacity? Let's check. Default capacity of array list in Java should be 10. What happened? So what it is telling? 10. So the 10-seater bus. So now what is the capacity over here when I created this A2? And what is the size? What is the size? Initially when I created it, nothing was there, no? Now when I added the first element, what is the capacity? Yes. Yes. When I add the second element,
Capacity is 10 and size is 2.
and when I added the third element,
Capacity is 10 and the size is 3.
size is 3. If you try to use an index which is equal to or greater than the size, it will throw an exception, right? So if we, so what is the max index then? What is the max index over here? 2, right?
9.
Over here, index is on the size, Shakur. Index is not on the capacity. Index is always on the size. So what is the max index in this list? 2. So if I give any value greater than 2, will throw bounds. Index out of bounds. Getting it, guys? So
Yes,
does the collections, so array will throw array index out of bounds. What will array throw?
Array index out of bounds.
Yes, so it will throw array index out of bounds exception, and this will throw yes,
Index out of bounds exception.
yes, getting it.
Yes, sir.
So when will it throw? Okay, now let's come over here. Now what is the capacity of this list?
The capacity is 10.
And what is the size? Okay, now let's come again. I'll take one more. I'll copy paste it so that you guys are comfortable. And play around with collections. Use a lot in the real time development. Now tell me, what is the size, what is the capacity over here? By default,
Capacity is now 10.
capacity is how much? 10. And size is?
Size is 0.
Size is 0. ठीक है? Now I do a1 dot add Alice. Now how much?
Now capacity is 10 and size is 1.
Capacity is?
10 and size is 1.
Size is 1. Now what is the max index I can use while getting this?
0. The max index.
So index will always be on the size. So will it give me this?
Yes, sir.
Alice.
Yes.
But if I say index 1, then index out of bounds exception. Correct?
Bound exception.
So it will display me Alice and then throw index out of bound exception. Correct?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay, very good. So far so good. Okay. Now I'll comment out this. So now what is the size and capacity?
Now size. Capacity is 10.
And size is?
And size is 0. Because we commented it.
Very. Now what is it?
The capacity is 10 and the size is 10. No, sir, it will.
Capacity is 10, size is also? Okay, yes or no? 10 times I've added Alice, no? Correct. So capacity is 10, size is 10, right? To
Yes, sir.
to check the size, you all can say sys out a1 dot size. So what is the size?
Size will be 10.
10. Okay. Now after this, if I say a1 dot add, now tell me what will happen behind the scenes.
As the size is full, sir, it will go and take out of all the
Very good. कौन है वो? कौन है? जरा टॉर्च मारो उस पे.
Auto grow.
टॉर्च मारो भाई. वो जो कौन है अरे इंडेक्स आउट ऑफ बाउंड वाला. 1 घंटे से मैं बता रहा हूँ ऑटो ग्रो. उसको ये समझ में आया कि इट विल थ्रो एक्सेप्शन.
Capacity will increase.
So when the size becomes more than the capacity, right? When does the capacity increase?
When size will become more than the capacity.
So
Size is
in
more than
this
the capacity.
case, what happens? When I add Ben, size becomes 11, right? Yes or no?
Yes, sir, size.
And capacity was old 10.
Yes,
Old capacity was 10 and size becomes 11.
it was 10.
So whenever the size becomes greater than the old capacity, the capacity will auto grow. So what is the new capacity will be what?
The new capacity will be old capacity
1.5 times into old capacity
to 10.
plus 1.
Old capacity plus 1.
So what will be the new capacity then?
It will be 16.
It will be
1.5
16.
into 10.
So capacity will turn to what? 16 and size will be 11. Is that making sense? Yes guys?
Yes,
Now which is the max index I can use? Size minus 1, right? Same like an array. So indexing is on the size. Why are people telling that when I try to increase the capacity, it will say array is out of bounds? So now if I try to say sys out a1 dot get me of 10, what value will be at 10? This was 10, right? So this 10 was 0 to 9, correct?
yes, sir.
And this Ben is at which index?
It's a 10.
So when I say 10 will give me what?
Ben.
So it should show me Ben. Getting it? If I would have told 7, then
At 7, then it will give
Alice. If I do 3, then
again it will say
and if I do 1, then
then also Alice.
what is the size now of the array list?
Size is 7.
So if I do 11, then if I do 11, then
There is no element at 11, so it will now give
what will it give?
the
Index out of bounds
index
exception. Getting it? Because size is 11, so they cannot be index 11. Max index will be size 1 less than the size. Getting it, guys? So array list will also throw the exception if you try to use a index which is equal to or greater than the size. Correct? So this is the difference between array and collection. Okay. Then collection is the primary interface. All the classes fall under this umbrella of collection. This we will discuss in detail tomorrow. So the array list falls under which umbrella? They implement which interface? Collection. Collection, right?
Yes, sir.
So if asked in the exam difference between array and array list, so what will you do? Where there is collection, replace array list. Yes or no? Yes. So if I give you a difference between animal and human being, okay? So this is the difference is one blah blah blah, two difference. And then if in the exam if they ask what is the difference between animal and Rajesh, so where will you put Rajesh into? So this is the difference between animal and Rajesh. So animal lives in the jungle, okay? Animal is uncivilized, and Rajesh lives in the city or village and is civilized, right? So whatever will be the human attributes, we'll replace that and put Rajesh over there. Make sense? So what is the difference between array and array list when asked? To this. You all can research more and let me know. Or if there's anything which needs to be corrected in this, you all can let me know. The performance wise this is better or that is better. You all can all discuss and let me know. Make sense? Okay, then we'll go in detail about collection. Today I just give you an overview, okay? I have not gone in the technical aspects right now. Okay, I'll give you the overview.